Guys, welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm your host, May.
And I'm Laura, and we are joining you from Zoom today. Oh my God. May has to be on the freaking West Coast, but we use this to our advantage because we have an awesome guest. We are interviewing the celebrity private jet tracker extraordinaire, Jack Sweeney, who runs at ElonJet's and a number of other celebrity jet tracking accounts. You may remember him from last year. He was battling with Elon Musk online because he had the tracking app, and Elon was pissed.
You may also remember that this person is a borderline child. He's
right on the edge.
Now he's like barely legal drinking age, and Elon Musk himself was in a rat-tat-tat with him. So it's just so funny. It was such a pleasure talking to him. Really cute kid. Give him a follow. And yeah, enjoy.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold on.
From that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's Risque Business News.
Well, welcome to the pod, Jack. We are so fired up to have you on here finally. For our listeners, we talked about this a little in the intro, but Jack here is the founder of ElonJet's and Ground Control. Is that right?
Yeah. So I started tracking Elon Musk's private jet back in high school, probably when COVID started. No one had nothing to do. Some of us were just playing games, and I just had this idea for the longest time and took the effort to just figure out,
Yeah. So what was the impetus of that? Like, were you like super obsessed with Elon? Or...
Yeah, just like everyone, especially when you're like 15, you have someone you obsess over. It was Elon for quite a while, even back then, Elon was going crazy on Twitter.
He is entertaining as hell. We did a 5-part series on him. I think it's up to 5 parts. It's been a long...
and there's already like 5 additional parts that we need to do because the guy he is a content machine. There is always drama and it's always the funniest fucking thing that's ever happened.
He does not what is due for being as funny as he is, because it's really, I mean, it's a content farm, truly. But I love that like other kids your age were probably like Justin Bieber, and you were like, Elon.
Oh yeah. I mean, the latest one, especially with Elon, is the Disney and Bob Iger, when he was on about the advertisers. Yeah.
So fucking funny.
I mean, after that, there was people just jumping on a bandwagon. Oh, cancel your Disney Plus and everything,
Yeah. But also, I mean, I saw some memes too that were like, oh, Elon Musk made people side with advertisers. And I was like, I don't think it's that deep. Like, I think it's just, I mean, I don't know. He can't, like, everything shakes out in the wash positively for him. So everything that he does, all these crazy antics usually promote more.
I actually have a conspiracy theory on this. I think he's like somewhat trying to do crazy antics. So it looks like the company's failing because of said crazy antics versus the fact that like, no one's fucking on there anymore. Yeah. And that it's falling apart. Like it's falling apart.
Like I just saw like he's like saying this one thing where, oh, we have the highest numbers of people coming in, but I don't know what's truly going on.
I doubt that that's true.
Where?
Yeah.
Show me where. Are the numbers in the room with us right now?
No, absolutely.
So, like Twitter is or X, I should say, is that like your number one platform that you're a user of, or?
It depends on like the use case or what I'm using it for. I mean, it's definitely not the number one for tracking anymore because I can't do it live. And then like all of my original accounts on X got wiped.
Oh yeah.
I remember when that happened. That was epic. I mean, that like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was a crazy like week. And then like, I don't know if you know about this, but so like after it happened, the night that it happened, then the reporters and me and other people found out that even if you're suspended from Twitter, you're still logged in, and Twitter Spaces did not check whether or not you were banned. So people who were suspended could make an account. And like it was just like a party of people that were suspended.
Hilarious. That's
So funny.
exactly the kind of shit I'm talking about. Just no
Yeah.
attention to detail whatsoever. You're like, well, I'll just go live instead.
Yep.
So speaking of like, the whirlwind, like the media whirlwind that's been happening, especially over the past week, what have your parents said? Like,
Your
are they
dad's a pilot, right? Isn't that?
Well, he works for an airline. He's not a pilot. He
Oh.
he technical operations.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, my dad has liked it a lot. So is my mom, but my mom, of course, gets nervous about, when certain things happen, she wants you to chill out or something.
Yeah.
But they're proud of me. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And have you been laid? Have you gotten laid off of
Yeah, I
this?
was gonna say this has got to be like
yeah,
that's
I'd probably
like the
say
pickup
so.
line.
It's
Listen, I
definitely
know where
helped.
you flew in from.
Yeah.
Has it
I'll take
helped
that,
you
yes.
socially?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a good topic to talk about, for sure.
Yeah.
That's so
Love
funny.
this
You know,
smirk. He's like, yeah, it's really working out.
it's annoying though when like people like talk to you and then they just talk to you for a little bit and then just so they can say they met this person or something. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They're not
because I
actually
wonder.
there for you or whatever.
Yeah,
Fake
no,
friends.
fake friends. Get used to it.
Yeah.
So like Laura told me, I actually didn't know this. I thought that you were just tracking Elon, but you also track other people too.
Oh yeah, it's an extensive list.
Okay.
Like,
How do you choose the people on your list?
Well, of course they're prominent people and they have a jet that's like clearly linked to them. Sometimes, someone flies on a charter jet, so you can't really track them. You can't, I mean, everything I do, I made automated. So like I say, oh, this person's jet is this person posted to this account. And if that person's flying a charter jet, you can't really tell. So they have to have their own jet that they're usually flying on.
So
and
none of
that's
the poors that use these charter
yeah.
jets.
No
Yeah.
poors.
No poors. Okay, great.
So going back in time, Elon was your first one, right?
Yep.
How did you find him? Because I mean, if you were like, hey, you got to go find Elon's jet.
It was known that his jet was his jet before I started tracking him. It's just that no one had done the tracking in the way that I did, where, I made it so noticeable. This is Elon Musk's private jet. Like I really put it out there.
Yeah.
And did you just know I know that there's like this ADS-B exchange, like were you just familiar with this technology or?
I was familiar with flight tracking, not so like how technical it was, but most people know you can get like a flight tracking app on your phone and
Totally.
track your like mom flying somewhere or something, anybody.
That's like the most rudimentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
me
knew
being
that.
like, is my flight coming?
I knew about that because of my dad. So, even probably since like I was 12, I probably knew about that maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
But on those basic apps, you can't track like a lot of the private jets because they get data. This is going on the technical side, but those companies that are the more basic apps, they get data from the FAA, and there's a list that says, oh, if these people want to be blocked, you can block them. But if you go on the more open source side where people are pulling data out of the air, then you can track anyone you want.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so are you like, I'm assuming it's like an automated like code you've created. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
like an idiot.
Yeah.
And, like so like you're not like actually physically tracking, like obviously it's just like being automatically updated or
Yeah.
how
I mean, it would be so hard to do that,
be a full-time job.
especially for multiple people.
Yeah.
So you started posting it in 2020 during lockdown, and obviously people had, right? Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
And then we obviously had time. So what was it like those first few months? Like when did you really start getting traction, I guess? And what was people's responses?
It was really like the initial Elon fans. And then, Elon would fly to some factory of his and media would pick up on it and they'd put it in their articles. So maybe after like 3 or 4 months, it was like 1,000 something. People liked it a lot. It
Yeah.
just kept growing from there.
Funny. And it's like, it seems like it's like, relatively harmless. So people are like, this is funny, it's silly,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
And it's
it's all,
open,
like you said, it's open source, available.
public info.
Yeah.
Which, so then I know later on, it was the same year, right? Where Elon actually hits you up. I think
Is it?
November, I think, in 2020.
No, I think that's 2021.
Was it 2021?
Yeah.
The internet's a liar.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but either way, so he hits you up. How?
Yeah, I was, it was like 1 a.m. Eastern time, and I'm about to go to sleep, but I'm looking at my phone, and I'm a freshman in college, and I'm living in a dorm, and I just tell my roommate, I'm like, "Are you serious right now?" And it's like, he said, "Can you take this down? It's a security risk." And then for like the next month, like we were messaging back and forth like a message a week, maybe.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You were
That's
sliding
crazy.
into your DMs.
Imagine like the butterflies getting a DM. from Elon.
Yeah,
Elon is
no,
trying
it's
to
like,
hit.
and you're trying to like think about what to formulate. I'm like, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
And
Was it basically, I mean, was the communication just essentially him trying to get you to take it down, you were refusing to do
yeah.
so?
Well,
Or was it more
he,
flirty?
yeah, he was. I have the full.
you up?
I have a full
Yeah.
screenshot of it, but the gist of it is, he was asking how it worked even, and then he was like, "Oh, the FAA is so primitive." Then he said, "How about $5,000 to take it down?" I didn't think that was enough, so I asked for 50,000 or a Tesla.
That's not even
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
I'll be honest. I
Yeah.
looked it up. At that point, he had $27.6 billion.
Yeah.
Like that's like fuck you, Elon. Like, no, sir.
Yeah.
At the minimum, you did a really cool like job here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I think is one of the most interesting things that it's just, part of like storytelling and media. It might be partially my fault, but in the messages, he doesn't say take it down. He says 5,000 for the account.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
So like,
Some sort of like legal reason to say that? I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Well, he wasn't obviously legally thinking because I flipped it on him pretty much.
He never
Yeah.
was legally thought, I'm pretty sure. I don't think his lawyers must be just the most tired group of people.
Oh, for sure.
Lawyers and his PR team are the hardest working people.
They really are. But they need to
Yeah.
just stop because it doesn't matter at this point. He's
Yeah.
gonna do whatever he's gonna do. So he offers you, or you ask him for money, and then doesn't he reply as he's like, go no, like doesn't think it should.
He said after I said that I didn't think it was enough. He said, I believe he said it doesn't feel right to pay to take this down, and it pretty much ended there. I think I asked for maybe an internship because like then that's not really money wise. It's more like I'm helping you. But
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because I mean, obviously, like the world is full of Elon lovers and Elon haters, and he probably assumed that this account was run by somebody like trying to cause him harm. So he's probably like caught off guard that you actually like him and you want to work for him and you want to like an internship from him. He was probably like, wait, what? I
yeah,
thought that you were like being an ass, but yeah.
he definitely does not like me. Now I know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I also kept laughing that he was like citing it as a security concern because
Yeah.
it like people who want that paparazzi, don't they use that website and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's all kinds of people.
I was reading online and they were saying like investors like track people to see if there's going to be mergers. Like it's
Yeah.
all sorts of the politicians, like it's open information. He just didn't
Yeah.
like that you were posting it.
Yeah, I mean I liked it too because you knew what he was about to do the day before, like, oh, he's gonna have some meeting with this company. I think one of the most noticeable ones that I saw was one time he was in Berlin for his Tesla factory he has there. And then after that, he flew to Wolfsburg, Berlin, wherever the Volkswagen headquarters is in their factory. And he met with the president of Volkswagen. And then Volkswagen was like retweeting my tweets and stuff. And they're like, who's here and stuff, And then the next day, the president of Volkswagen and Elon, they post a video. So like, you just know what's coming ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But I really don't think it's security. I think it's more like privacy. Like I'm sure you've seen the headlines like Grimes is looking to get her child and she's having the custody war. And
yeah.
she said that she was using the jet to find out where he was.
Oh,
No
really?
way.
Yeah, there's articles about that.
That
That's
is nuts.
well,
Yeah,
it's not
it's like, well, so what he ends up doing, obviously, he, when he buys the platform, he has a lot more power over this and goes and actually, what really killed me about this is just the hypocrisy of the entire thing, how his whole platform to buy Twitter was because he wanted to protect free speech. And I feel like the second he got it, he was like, okay, we're going to ban your.
Well, he even said he wouldn't. He put out the tweet saying
Yeah.
he wouldn't.
He
Yeah.
goes, my commitment to free speech extends even to not banning the account following my plane, even though this is a direct personal safety risk.
Yeah, you can see it.
Oh,
Oh, that's so funny.
poster, that's epic.
But
That's awesome.
yeah,
And then like, oh,
yeah, I think it was like a month later because that's like November 1st. I got suspended on like December 15th. But like a week before I got suspended, I received an anonymous email and they claimed to be a Twitter insider. And it was Ella Erlin, who was trust and safety at Twitter at the time. And she said, please apply heavy visibility filtering to ElonJet. And a week later, I get suspended. So I really think that whole story about the attacker and the person coming after him and tracking him through my account was like fake. Because like, how does that
Really?
happen? Where a week
Yeah.
earlier they say there's apply heavy visibility filtering. I post that, and media companies write articles about it, and then they come back with that. Like, I just don't get how I've been running the account for 2 or 3 years at that point, and then that happens within a week span.
I think they were just trying to figure out a way that they could, like, to the Elon supporters, make it seem justified getting
Yeah,
the review.
yeah,
Because even the story about, so May, I don't know if you remember this, but back then there was an attacker, or this very, very weird attack on one of Elon's cars that had one of his kids in it.
yeah. That's what that is.
Yeah.
So that's what he used to justify my suspending my account.
Which made so little sense because that's a car and not a plane.
Yeah.
It's a completely unrelated.
There's a lot after, like, there was like people doing research on it, and there was like a whole lot of open source intelligence people saying, oh, that picture, they found where that video was, and they said it was like 30 miles from an airport, so pretty far, and that was more than 24 hours after any of my Twitter posts. So like,
Yeah.
it's been a day.
Sounds more like, I mean, if that event happened, it's more just like, okay, well, you have a bad security team around your family. Then
Didn't it even end up being a person within their org or something, the attack, if that even actually really did occur?
I don't remember. And then there was no official police report from Elon's side.
oh, that's
Yeah.
really interesting. Yeah. I did not know that part.
And he wasn't there himself.
Yeah.
So the whole thing was extremely suspicious. But my absolute favorite part about this entire story is that afterwards, like the next day, so as you're referring to, all the reporters were like doing articles, understandably, on this news story because that is their physical, like that's their job. And then he bans everyone writing about it whatsoever.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What, dude? Like 1 month after that tweet that you have up on your wall there, he is doing exactly all the things that he had criticized people for doing before he bought the platform. And frankly, like shadier shit than even they were pulling off beforehand. Like he took it to another level. So I guess good job. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and like the Mastodon account on Twitter got suspended because they posted about my account on Mastodon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if you also saw, but like at one point, I think that's the tweet where it says the attacker stuff, but he's like, I'm taking legal action against Sweeney.
Were you nervous? I would be nervous.
Yeah, of course, because it's still like the richest person,
For
but
sure.
Yeah.
and a lot of influence. But anybody can say anything.
I bet your mom was like, here we go. This is why I told you.
I bet she was
Yeah.
shitting herself. Holy hell.
Yeah,
Truly.
she just wanted me to like take just like space myself from it somewhat.
I want to say that you had, by the way, the most epic reply back to him after they like did that when you go, can I have my $8 back?
Oh yeah, yeah. See,
That was awesome.
I wish I had that account still because I can't see any of those tweets anymore.
They're on different news sites. I have
Yeah.
a screenshot. I'll send it to you.
Mhm.
How many followers did you have on that account before it was suspended?
On my personal or like my Elon one?
I guess both.
The Elon one was nearing 500,000. I know that. My personal was probably like 130,000, I think.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Um,
RIP.
so the accounts, I started with Elon. I had no clue what I was doing. So the program, I only wrote it to support like one person, one plane, one account, whatever. And then I expanded it and there's doing some little people, little not very prominent people. And
Like
and then
comparatively or like
yeah,
no.
comparatively to Elon,
Like
there's
my
some
ex-girlfriend.
no.
Yeah.
Um the CEO of another truck company who's got himself in some deep water. I can't remember the name of it. It's the company that
Oh,
pretended like they had a
that
working.
faked it. The one who
Yes,
had it on the
yes,
hill.
yes, that one.
Who was that?
I can't remember his name.
Faked a truck going down the hill.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Nicola. They had
Yeah,
a fake hydrogen
Nicola.
truck
Yeah,
that they just put at the top of the hill, and then they filmed a commercial of it driving, and it was just rolling down the hill.
yep.
And investors were like, wait a second. They're like, it will get you from one specific kind of point to another specific kind of point, and that's
Yep.
it.
So and then after the Elon thing that was public, then the whole Ukrainian Russian war started, and people started asking me to track the oligarchs, so I set up that account.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So you're
this is
taking
actually
requests.
scary.
oh, yeah.
That is really scary.
And I did that. I mean, I'm in here in the US, so I think I'm fine, but I probably should never go to
Don't go to
Russia.
Russia. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't go to
yeah,
Russia.
definitely.
You'll be all of a sudden pushed out a window or
Yeah.
You'll have committed suicide.
Well, they would probably like, apparently when you travel there and you're like a US person, they're questioning you anyway, because not many people visit. And then after that, probably like a couple months later, I just started like a general ElonJet's account. And all this was on Twitter back then. And that account, I think, spurred like articles about Taylor Swift and all the people who were using their private jets and who's the number one celebrity.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was like she was like getting coffee across LA or something.
Yes, there was all kinds of people jumping on the account about that. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and her environmental impact,
yeah,
which you still highlight in each one of those, which I think is good.
yeah.
These
And
guys
see, that's
should-
all automated. It's estimates, but it's still, from what I know, pretty close.
So I know you did the Russian oligarchs. That's obviously absolutely insane. Vladimir Putin was one of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you still have that one?
Well, those are in my Discord right now. Not any like social media accounts, but there was and so there was the oligarchs account, and then there was the Russian VIP fleet account, which was, there's a possibility that Putin could have been on any of
Oh,
those.
right. Yeah, because ultimately you just know it's like the jet associated with him, not that he's.
It's the same. It's kind of the same thing with the U.S. Air Force and the presidential VIP fleet. Like there's two 747s that the United States Air Force has, and then there's a bunch of 757s, and really the president or the vice president can fly on any of those.
Yeah.
You don't really ever know which is which.
Yeah. Did you have Prigozhin? That would have been epic.
That's the one that,
The Wagner guy.
yeah, no, but I think I posted a screenshot of that plane that they shot down.
Oh
That
my
was
God. It's terrifying.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so that's obviously like real shit right there. Cause like even like Elon Musk like threatening to sue you, as much as that is scary and stuff financially, and I there's realities, not like jail time that I think would come with that. It is open source information. But obviously dealing with those kinds of politicians, this is when things get a little sketchier.
yeah.
Let's push it over to someone who's far less serious, Ron DeSantis.
Oh yeah. Um, I mean, obviously he's interesting. So like you have to. I knew there was a Florida State jet that just kept popping up on my mind, and it would follow wherever he went. So I had to make an account because it seemed like the one where the jet tracking's easy enough, but when I see that it correlates with where the person is in the news, then I'm like, this is good because it's I don't want to just, post jets and not confirm or be iffy on the information. I want it to be right.
Mhm.
And when I kept watching it, and then I made that count, and I was like, yep,
Yeah. And then you see his high heels walking down the stairs of that jet.
Prancing down the runway.
Crazy lifts in his shoes.
Yeah.
That is like one of the funniest things to me that's happened in the past few weeks. Is just the fact that everyone knows DeSantis is wearing insane lifts in his shoes.
Walking around in high heels.
I just think about it in my spare time.
And also you know what? That gives me more respect for him, because that shit hurts. That is, the man is in pain. No wonder he's a little grumpy sometime.
My God.
You ever worn heels? They suck. Do not do it.
They do suck.
You know what the other funny thing is, now that we're on DeSantis, is when DeSantis announced with Elon on Twitter,
Uh-huh.
and it fell apart because it was on Twitter Spaces and too many people joined. And I think like
Non-stop content. It's amazing.
either a day before, maybe like an hour before, I put out like a tweet, or I sent it to someone. I was like, I bet this is gonna crash.
Yeah.
Because I've already seen Twitter have performance issues when there's a large load, and that's exactly what happened.
That is embarrassing as hell.
Go to a doctor for that. That's so fucking funny to me. The next one is Mark Cuban. Now, this one was interesting because it seems like, well, first of all, he's probably running for president, right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Or
Yeah.
that's what people were predicting, because he sold some of the Dallas Mavericks, whatever shares, some of it, and then no more Shark Tank.
Mhm.
And so I think I'd support him. He seems to be.
I don't know if I'm speaking too soon, but yeah, I think I think he would get a lot of votes.
I 100% would support him, because at least it's a person where I'm like, this guy is making rational, logical sense.
Yeah, exactly.
More times than not. And at this point, that's the bar. He's not wearing lifts. I didn't know that was something that's important to me. I don't want you wearing lifts.
Maybe he's wearing lifts. We don't know.
That's true. Maybe I'll have to take this back, because I think for him, I don't know. I guess that is a lot.
Yeah.
But so he's running for president, and do you still have a tracker on him, or did you take it down?
Okay, so I don't know if you've seen it all, but so I had the Twitter account on him.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't very big, but he still reached out to me, and he said, basically all the same stuff as Elon, maybe a little more unhappy.
He said, are you not concerned about safety issues tracking jets? Which, like, he's acting like it's open source information, my guy.
Yeah.
Like, stop taking jets.
Yeah, but basically his account was not very big, so I didn't really care about like shutting it down. So I did, and then he kind of didn't really stay on his end of the deal, because he said he would tweet about me taking it down, and then he was like, I don't know if I want to do that, but whatever. And then like a year later, I was like, can I come out to this Dallas Mavericks game? And he gave me tickets.
Oh, you did?
Really?
Yeah. And then just recently, like the past month or two, the Mavericks were here in Orlando playing the Magic, and I emailed them like the day of, and I was like, "You got any tickets for this game?" And he gave me them.
Oh,
Okay.
that's amazing.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
What else did you ask for? Did you ask for anything beyond the tickets?
No. I've been thinking about saying, "Oh, do you have any internships at any of your companies?" Because he's got the new drug company of his.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Also, you would think like even if like the relationship started off like a little with him being a little sour, he's got to appreciate the entrepreneurship like like I feel like he would be like, "Oh, this is cool. This kid's like taking initiative and doing something different." So if I were
Yeah.
him, I'd hire you.
You should ask to do his social media for his presidential campaign.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
pitching it at Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
That'll be
I mean,
a really easy job.
I could, he has his private jets. I could literally have like oh, his jet's flying here for this campaign event,
Yeah, hype everybody up. Get them out to go to his little rallies.
Yeah.
Cute rallies. So you did, I love that one. And I do hope you get to do an internship because I love Mark Cuban. I think he's great.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like him.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah.
I would totally vote for him. Holy hell. Can you imagine having someone who has a brain and isn't about to die?
Yeah.
That's another big requirement for me is not on the brink of death for a politician.
Yeah.
Good luck.
It's never going to happen, but I love to just dream one day. Did anybody else? So I have a list of a couple of these different accounts that you have. Mark Zuckerberg. That would have been pretty epic watching them both fly in to fight.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, they meet in Rome. You're like, let's go.
Yeah.
That would be really fun.
Let me look at the list just so I don't.
Yeah, we have, and this one I have ElonJet's, so that's probably just like an all-encompassing one. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, Taylor Swift, and then just Trump.
Yep.
That must have been quite the chat.
I don't know why no one really picks up on the Trump one very well on much, or like it doesn't have much following. Probably because when he's flying, even especially for like the court cases and stuff that he's had, the news companies are like flying 5 helicopters next to the airport when he's about to take off. So like you don't need my account because it's all over the news.
True.
Yeah, he's tracking himself. He's like pushing his location to everybody. We're like, we're good. He's like, do you want to be friends on Find My Friends? He's on Snapchat sharing it. We're like, we're good, dude. Have any of them reached out?
No. Mm-mm.
That would be cool. It's like Travis Kelce just threatens to beat you up because you're tracking Taylor.
Yeah. The Taylor account has really taken off in the last couple months, especially with her going to the tours. I mean, the Taylor Swift fans really love it.
Oh, they're insane. So
yeah, I know. There are some though that don't like it. But like she like 3 hours before the Green Bay game on Sunday, she took off for Green Bay and the fans were going wild. Oh my God. And she took off from Kansas City to Green Bay. So, I mean, she's already in Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that relationship. I know it's completely just PR and like media stunts, and I don't care because it's a nice story. Okay. And I need this. I need this.
Yeah. She might be in flight right now, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's Kansas City to Morristown, where her home is.
Damn.
Morristown,
Pennsylvania, right?
New Jersey.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, is that where they remember how over the summer? I'm making up shit. Over the summer when they had the wedding and the Taylor Swift fans kind of like stampeded it. And I guess that's kind of like one of their concerns is, she's probably the only one where people would get that intense about it. But like,
yeah.
But I also feel like fans just know where she is anyway. Like if Taylor Swift is in Morristown, New Jersey, people are gonna know about it.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, the amount of like videos they post and people how quickly they get around on social media is unbelievable. Like she was in the box when she was watching at that Green Bay game, and there was videos of people next because the boxes, their sides were glass, so the people in the boxes next to them were taking pictures, and you could see people on the other side taking pictures. So you're watching it's just like unbelievable
Yeah.
how quickly those are spreading.
That would be
Yes.
so exhausting being her. Oh my God.
So
Yeah.
tiring. And I guess, yeah, you're right. So she's like the only one who's punched up a level of fame where she's like, I'm not even worried about this private jet account. Like it is
Yeah.
the least of my concerns. Elon,
She definitely continues to use like the highest privacy program that she can use for the most part, but it hasn't been on recently, probably because she was traveling internationally some, and you can't do it internationally. But
oh, really?
yeah, her and Kim Kardashian use it a decent amount, and then most of the people are on the most basic like level of privacy, but it doesn't really matter. You can still track them.
It's the one
Wow.
where it basically like bounces their code or something. I think.
Yeah. So that Taylor Swift sometimes has that, and then Kim Kardashian has it sometimes, but you can't do that internationally when you're flying international.
That is crazy. So now you have this website, the ground control, I mean, this company, I'm sure there's like some basic ads and stuff like that you can do, but what's the
So
vision? What you gonna do?
so basically what I'm trying to do is like the accounts are great and everything, but you just do a post. That's all it is. And I'm trying to make it all that on the website where I don't have to create a social media account. I have a database where it's like hundreds, 500 planes, and it's all of people's names. And I'm trying to make that interactive, and I just have to get the background system working, and then I can start showing all that on the website, and I think it'll be cool. I mean, ideally there'd be an app and you could turn on push notifications for various people and everything, but that's a whole lot of work.
Yeah, that would be cool actually.
And then why do you just because something that kind of caught on, or why do you do all this? Like what's up?
Obviously it started with the Elon, so I was a fan. Part of it is like as a nerd, you're pulling in this data and then doing something with it and automating it. And like whilst it helps people that they're interested in it, when they see it, it's helpful information. But when I see it, I think about the process that the system is going through and how like I made it do that, and the output is like working how I want it to work, and it's kind of like satisfying. And then I also like the planes, like it's cool to like have it in your hands of knowing where that plane in the sky around the world is. It's like
Yeah, it's cool.
information is right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like the ultimate resume. It's like if you're like applying to an internship or a job, you'd be like, I built this for no other reason other than I wanted to see my system work. So it's pretty badass, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's already paying off. You got congratulations. You just got named to the Forbes 30 under 30.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
That's really important because you know that you might have to take on the mantle of doing crime now. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're ready for that responsibility.
But a lot of the 30 under 30s have I don't know.
They do crime. You got to do a couple crimes, a couple of them. One of them you have to. I don't know. You got to draw straws or something.
Sam Bankman.
Sam Bankman. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
That is very cool though. How was that process? We are constantly, obviously it's been a running joke, like, the people who pop up who are doing prominent things and get on this list. How was the process?
I got emailed by someone that I had previously met over the summer from Forbes, and they said that I had been nominated. So like basically then you just fill out an info sheet, and then I just found out last week. Like I didn't know. They don't tell you ahead of time, you find out with everyone else.
Wow.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, unless you're someone like really big, probably like, of course, like Kim Kardashian probably knew, or which Jenner was on it? One of the Jenners was on it. The tequila one.
What is that?
Oh,
Kylie?
Kendall.
Kendall, yeah. And so those people on like the front covers, they had like their pictures taken and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that's amazing. So it just gets put out, and then you're like, you, your parents, everyone's finding out about it
at
without
the
the
same
rest of the
time.
public. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a resume, though. Come on, you're about to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's people that I was talking to, and they were like, "What did you do?" Like, I don't think they know the amount of work that like I put into the automated system, and then obviously I did something that no one else really did because otherwise people wouldn't care, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that fucking shit. Tell you that.
Yeah.
It-
And I mean, you also weathered like a very important thing in how we're dealing with media and privacy and all these.
Yeah.
It was literally, it'll go in a history book. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
Stressful.
and it's not only private jets, there's so many, the same philosophy applies. There's so much data out there and what the rule sets are on it.
And also the fact that like they can apply those rules randomly to people like you who are just kind of amplifying it.
Yeah.
Versus if they did it, then if Elon had an app like that, I'm sure he wouldn't have had issue with it. It's just the hypocrisy of the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm on so many social media platforms, especially the decentralized ones. I'm all over those, and I built my system to post onto those automatically. So I don't want to be cut off on one. And like each time, even on Instagram, like the Taylor Swift account, I'm somewhat worried about for some reason, but like there's always this thought because it's blowing up that like you don't know what the head of Instagram is going to think, and if Taylor Swift says something,
Yeah, and also, I mean, like with Elon's incident with the baby and whatever, like they're trying to vaguely tie that to you. Like, obviously Taylor
Yeah.
Swift is like putting herself in these, like not putting herself, but like she's in situations that could get dangerous at any moment, depending on how her security team is behaving. And there's so many other factors. And so like if they're trying to like link these things to things that have nothing to do with the situation, it could get really legally hairy. But
Yeah.
And then the legal precedent around the whole thing, which I think, I mean, currently you're totally fine, but like, who knows?
Yeah.
Laws change quite a bit. And I think that's another really big thing is these people who have been so critical of the government and so critical of like, the overreach of the government. But the second that it actually becomes more personal to them, they do things that are very much the same as exactly what the government would have done in that scenario.
Yeah.
It's like
And
those
just
don't apply.
going back to the suspension, I was suspended for new rules for doing something in the past. Like, I was given no warning.
yeah.
They like, as of December 15th, you can't post private information. Well, I did it the day, 2 days ago, not today, now with the new rules. Like,
Backdated? Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So that's what allowed you to eventually bring it back on there. I don't know if we clarified that for our listeners, but there's then, if you want to follow this account, it's ElonJet next day. I think it is.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
So a 24-hour lag.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like, it says this, or no, Elon, I think it's in the rules and Elon said it, it's long as it's delayed by a day. It's fine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it's not as fun anymore, because it's even,
absolutely.
it's even behind the news now. The news articles are out after it. So, yeah.
Well, are you on, is Blue Sky and the other ones, are those on real time?
Yeah, everything else is on real time. Blue Sky, Threads,
Right.
Nostr. Not that anybody's on that, but
Yeah.
Who
I
knows?
don't know why I just can't get behind it. I mean, maybe it'll take off, but every time I get a Threads notification, I'm like, stop trying to make Threads happen.
Get
Oh,
off my feed. What is this doing?
the posts look kind of, or the actual post pages look kind of okay, but like then you go to the notification section, and the notification section is just like a mess. Like I can't read that. It's
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
to read.
Agreed.
It just seems like it should be straightforward. Just mimic exactly what they're doing over there.
Yeah, that's basically what Blue Sky is.
Yeah. But Blue Sky, I mean, I just got on there. Like it takes
Yeah.
fucking forever, which I guess is
Oh
free.
yeah. I mean, I I got an invite probably during the spring, last spring. And then what I did was I started inviting myself to other accounts.
Oh, so you can do all your versions.
Yeah, and then I had enough accounts to where I realized, wait a minute, I can make like a business off selling the codes. So I wrote a program to log into all the accounts, and then I started listing them and selling the codes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Look at you go. You are an entrepreneur. I'm excited
Yeah.
to see what you end up coming up with.
I wish I thought of that ahead of time because I could have made a lot more money, but it was still cool to do.
I love it. Good for you. You could definitely, Mark Cuban's you guys will be president is what I'm saying.
Hopefully.
You're about to be a vice president of the United States.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll see.
Anything else that was interesting about this experience that you think would be fun to chat about?
Oh, I got an email today that I got accepted to Raya.
Oh my
God.
But I didn't know it costs money. I don't think I'm gonna pay for that.
Oh wow, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it costs $20 a month.
All right, we'll redirect some of your blue sky tokens over.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, maybe you'll be the next person to date Kylie Jenner. That would be exciting.
I don't know if that's
you have a
blessing or
Timothée
a curse.
Chalamet vibe about you.
Yeah.
I'll be the next one asking to stop tracking them. It's just unbelievable. Like, it doesn't stop. Like, just one thing after another. Even when I like catch a break, oh, then this happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you have up your sleeve because I feel like you're gonna have some other wild idea, and
Hopefully.
it's really cool. Yeah. Your
Squish
parents should be really
shenanigans.
proud of you.
Yep.
That's very cool. Well, congratulations
Yep.
on everything.
Thank you.
Don't do the crime. I don't think you should be the Forbes 30 under 30 crime person for this year.
Yeah, no.
Count me up and up and run for president with Mark. Okay?
Yep.
I plan for you. But thanks for doing the pod. This was
Yeah,
so
of course.
fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
All right, thanks, and good luck with everything.
Yep. Have a good one.
Guys, that's been the episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed listening to our conversation with Jack. I know he is not, our traditional guest. I hope you enjoyed actual journalism. Can you imagine?
No, I mean, I don't know if that was actual journalism either, but we did.
Listen, that was New York Post level. How about that? I think we're hitting the New York Post. We're not Wall Street, New York Times, but
we never got to the bottom of whether or not he got laid. So
that's true. He was really tight-lipped about that. He is over 18, thank fucking God. If you do hook up with him, feel free to come on the show. We'd love to talk
come on the show. We'd love to know details. We're just joking. Do not at us if you do that. But yeah, we're looking for your feedback on this. Go easy on the kid. He's a young kid.
Go easy on me too.
Yeah, go hard on me. Tell me how horrible I look in this lighting. That's fine.
But we know the drill. 5 stars. Mean things about May. Softballs to Laura because she's sensitive, and very nice about Jack. But 5 stars is most importantly. And tell 3 friends.
Tell them you got him. I believe in you. And we will see you next week. I'll be back in the studios. We won't have this awkward delay, and I won't be staring at myself the entire time that we're filming.
It's great.
The whole time. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Love you.